What's up, y'all? JJ here, coming to you from just outside Fort Campbell in Kentucky. We have our third load we're working on. And again, I need to shout out Joel again. The way he's teaching me, this is great. So we're at Fort Campbell, Kentucky. We're at a Love's truck stop. We prefer Love's because coffee, and it's the better truck stops. But it's currently Friday, and we're not due to deliver until Monday morning. Right now we're 250 miles, I think, outside. We're going to Rome, Georgia, and I'll show you the load here in a second. But yeah, we got here. We have plenty of downtime today because the only driving we're doing tomorrow, we need to swing by Walmart to pick up some stuff. And then we're heading to a Love's that is, I think it's like 20 miles from where we're dropping off in Rome, Georgia. So that means come Monday morning, we're gonna have a short drive, and we'll be there before our appointment time, and that's always the goal. Always get there, before your appointment. You never want to be on time, you want to be early. And then we'll drop off. This should be a quick load, kind of. I'll show you why in a second. But yeah, once we drop this off, if they have the proper forklifts, we'll be unloaded 30 minutes, and then hopefully get a pre-plan. We'll be off to our next load. But this load is, they call them slinkies. It's a rolled wire, and it has to be tarped because it has to be kept out of the elements. Joel did this tarp. I helped him along the way, but he was showing me how he does them. And considering the height of the coils, the bottom of the tarp is kind of like bunched up, but the height of the load will dictate how clean the tarp job is. It all just depends on where the D-rings lie. Well, I'll flip this around and show you. You can't see the product because it's covered. But this is my first tarp load of my training. So what you're looking at here, since the air flows this way, you bring the top of the flap down, and then you bring the ears around so the air can flow over it. And then as you see here, it's secure with bungees, and the way Joel does it, which I like better because you don't have too many outside the rope rail. These ones outside the rope rail are fine, but the main tie down for the tarps, he actually puts them up under here like this, so when you're taking the tarp off, it's really easy to just grab, pull, let go, undo them all, and then come back and just grab them off the tarp. We had to use 3 tarps for this one just because of the length. There is 10 coils on this load, and the weight of the load itself is 37,880 pounds. So pretty heavy. But here's one. This black tarp right here, it doesn't have flaps like the blue ones do, because this one is meant for the middle of the load. You don't have to put flaps in the middle, obviously. So we got that one here, and we got the third blue one, and you'll notice how this one overlaps right here, and then the black one overlaps the blue one. Again, that's for the airflow, so the air flows over, because if it goes backwards, you'd have the balloon effect, and you don't want that because that destroys tarps, and these tarps aren't cheap. But let me go up to the front. It's kind of loud. Now with this one, it's the opposite. The ears go in, and then the flap comes down and then gets secured going this way, so the air flows, like I just said before, you want the air to flow off the tarp, not into it. And then we got the bulkhead right up against it to stop air from getting in down here. So let me walk away from the trucks if they're running. It's kind of warm here. So yeah, that's a tarp load of the Slinkies. Again, I hope you heard when I was describing the front, I kind of held the camera up to my mouth so you could hear me. But like I said, this is load number 3. Halfway through my second week of the 3-week training. And that's what I got for this segment. So probably come back to you on Monday when we get the next load, whatever that may be. So until then, see you later. Hey, what's going on, everyone? I am coming to you from just outside Jasper, Tennessee. If you want to know where I'm at right now, just open your Google Maps and zoom out so you can see all the state names. And look at the area where Alabama, Georgia, and Tennessee connect on the state lines. I'm right there. It is pretty gorgeous up there. I'm in the mountains right now. And let me go out. You see the mountains up here. See trees way up there. So today was definitely a learning experience. Up until we got here, here we go. Up until we got here, I got a little bit of experience playing with the J-brake. And for you non-trucker people, which is most of y'all, the J-brake, it controls engine braking. And if you're looking at the steering wheel, the stick to the right, that controls your manually shifting, and that controls your Jake brake. Now there's 3 settings on the Jake brake. You pull the lever down once, that's Jake 1, down twice, that's Jake 2, and then down for Jake 3. Up to here, up till this morning, I never really had to use Jake 3. Rarely even Jake 2. I was in Jake 1 just going down, you know, very short downgrades. Well, today I got to go down my first 6% grade. And if I had to estimate, it was maybe 2 miles, maybe 2.5 miles. But there were signs on the side right before the decline stating what speed your truck is supposed to be at depending on how heavy loaded you are. From the sign, from 70 to 75,000 gross, your speed limit was 35, and from 75 to 80,000, your speed is supposed to be 25 miles per hour. So one of the few things that I learned during getting my CDL school and like orientation and stuff like that, if my speed limit is 25, I'm on Jake 3 until I come down to 20 miles an hour, and then I'll back it off to 2, slowly gain speed up to 25, and then I go back to Jake 3. Doing that, the whole decline, I did not have to touch the brakes once, because again, thanks to Joel's training, I was at the proper speed at the top of the hill before the decline even started. So the whole time down, I did not touch my truck brakes once. It was just Jake 2, Jake 3, Jake 2, Jake 3, Jake 2, Jake 3, all the way down. He said I did real good. You know, I controlled my speed. I never went above like 27 miles per hour. I think was the highest that I noticed. But yeah, the one thing I was worried about, considering I pretty much lived in flatland areas, you know, I'm from Florida. The only hills we have in Florida is like the Tallahassee area, and those aren't hills. But yeah, my one worry was dealing with actual grades of mountain. So after this morning, or early afternoon, I'm pretty confident that I can handle at least basic mountains. There wasn't a whole lot of turning on this particular grade that I went down, but if there is, that's just more I have to pay attention to. So yeah, really happy today. I learned a lot about, you know, how to control a truck on a downgrade. Going up is easy. You just keep your RPMs between 1,000 and 1,500. So if you got a downshift or upshift, whatever the case may be. But yeah, really good mood today. Really good mood today. That's about it for this segment. And as always, I'll see you later. Hey, what's going on, everyone? I am coming at you currently from about 20 miles south of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We made our delivery today. As you can see, the trailer is nice and empty, and from the time it took me to go in, get a shower, and get dinner, it rained and stopped. So I kind of feel like Florida. But yeah, so for my Walmart peeps, I'm gonna post a couple of pictures here. You'll notice that the racking and the overall freight looks very familiar, right? Yeah, we delivered a bunch of rack material to it's a refrigerated facility, but I'm not sure what they actually have inside. So today, Joel had me do all of the unsecuring, and it took me a little over 3 hours. It would have taken me longer if he didn't give me a bunch of like easy ways to do things, and I talked to him about it while we're on our way to the Love's truck stop right now. He told me straight up, if I continue doing things like he does, securing, unsecuring, I'm gonna look like I'm like really experienced in front of other Melton drivers. And I haven't told him this yet. If I remember, I'll tell him tomorrow. His training is going to go beyond the students he teaches, because when other drivers ask me or see me doing things and making it look easier, they're probably going to adopt the same methods. So and again, when I'm on my own, I'm going to be doing videos of securements and unsecurements, just so anyone that stumbles upon my channel that's interested in Melton, you know, you can see what you're getting yourself into. I'm having a blast so far. Today was a workout. Probably going to be sore in the morning, but hey, it's going to help me reach my weight loss goals. But we have a load that we're picking up tomorrow. It reads the same as what we just dropped off today, but it's going to Houston, Texas. So we have an 8 o'clock appointment to pick up. I'm not sure if it's going to be a preload or if they're going to be a live load. I'm hoping it's a preload, so we get down to Houston with some time to spare. This load that we delivered today, by the time we had it done being secured, and it was a multi-layer, strapped, and tarped load, we ended up staying at the shipper that night. Well, we hit up a scale the next morning, and come to find out we were about 1,800 pounds overweight. And of course, we're 40 miles away from the shipper, so we had to go back to the shipper. Luckily, one of the forklift guys, he had just walked into work, so he was able to get, they took one pallet off the rear, and that put us, you know, under 80,000 pounds gross. But yeah, from the time we left the shipper, got to the first scale, went back, we had to peel back the tarp a little bit so we can get that one pallet off, Luckily, there was 2 pallets. He took one off, left one there. So luckily, we didn't have to pull back the tarp because that would have been a whole pain in the ass. But yeah, it was about maybe 2.5 to 3 hours that put us behind. They pushed our drop off or our delivery. They pushed it back 1 hour. It was 7 o'clock this morning. They pushed back to 8 o'clock this morning. We got there. It was like 8:30, 8:45. We had, you know, a bunch of traffic to deal with, even though we left out at, we were rolling by, I think it was 1 o'clock this morning. But yeah, so everything's still going good. By this time next week, Joel is gonna give me his blessing, as long as I don't do anything stupid. He's gonna give me his blessing, so by this time next week, I will be in my own truck. I'm not sure when I'll be able to go home. I just got the email that my TWIC card just finally got mailed out after waiting almost 2 months for it. So I'm gonna try and time going home. The plan is I'm gonna go home probably 4 or 5 days after the max mailing time for that TWIC card, because I really want to get that. And while I'm home, I'm going to put in the application. I already have it filled out for my passport, because yeah, Melton runs in Canada and Mexico. Probably won't really get too many of those loads, but Joel brought up an interesting idea. Get the passport anyway, because when I want to take time off, depending on how I arrange things, I can take 5 days off and fly to the Bahamas, or hell, anywhere. He's been doing the math based on what I'll be making, not him, because he makes more than me. And so far, the 2.5 weeks I've been out here, I'm estimating, I think the first week would have been around 1,200 take home. The second week would have been closer to like 1,650, 1,700 take home. I'm gonna do a video later on, probably at the 2 or 3 month mark, to go over, you know, my pay. So again, it's informative, so anyone looking into Melton, you can see, you know, recent videos on what I'm getting paid. I have no problem putting that information out there. But that's what I got for now. So I'll probably record again at the drop-off in Houston, which is going to be Friday. I believe it's Friday. Might be Saturday, I don't know. I gotta look at the tablet. Anyways, thanks for watching. Thank you to everyone who has recently subscribed. I really appreciate it. I was not able, my laptop wasn't showing me any more than my phone was to see who subscribed. So if you show up in my list, I'll call you out. Other than that, if you don't hear your name, then YouTube is being retarded and not telling me that you actually subscribed. But again, I appreciate all the recent subscriptions. My views are outweighing my subscription numbers, which means my videos are being discovered, you know, outside my subscriber base, which is awesome, because that's how the channel starts to grow. But yeah, that's what I got for now. And as always, see you later. Hey, what's going on, everyone? I'm coming at you from Effingham, just north of Effingham, Illinois. We picked up our load. It was a live load. It wasn't a drop, which kind of worked out kind of good the way they did it. I'll show you the load and then talk about it. The last load we had, the one that was tarped, was racking. This is another load of racking. It's just a little bit different. So that picture I had in the last segment, That was the last load. This is probably going to be my last load for training. So let me flip around and I'll show you the load. Okay, so where I said this was, the way they loaded it was good. From here down is one layer, from here up is second layer, and it's the same on the orange up front. They did the whole first layer. Actually, they put 2 of the orange ones up there first. And then they told me to strap everything down. Now, where that's good, if they would have loaded this whole trailer and I had to strap it after, I would have to use the paint roller, and all these first layer straps you see right here, I'd have to feed through, and that's a lot more time consuming. So when they told me to strap down the first layer, I was like, hell yeah, that's less work I gotta do later. So I strapped about 70% of this load. I was supposed to do it all by myself, but it was a little bit more complicated. We had to put some butterfly straps in there, and as you can see right here, we got some make sure that's locked. Must have popped open. We got 2-inch straps here, another one at the head of these blue racks, and then 2 on the orange racks up there. But yeah, most of the 4-inch straps I put on, I think Joel did 2 or 3 of them, just to make sure they were placed properly, again, because this wasn't a super simple load to strap down. But he did hand me all the paperwork to complete the training. I'm gonna look it over and see if I have any questions. We'll probably, I don't know if we're gonna do, well, we have to do a reset because our drop off is Monday morning. But we'll probably do all that paperwork when we do the 34-hour reset. So essentially, I'm 95% done. Just got to drive this weekend or tomorrow, and Saturday we'll probably be in Texas probably by the end of tomorrow, which will be Friday. And then 34-hour reset, deliver Monday morning, and then we'll probably, I don't know the logistics right now. I don't know if they're going to have a flight ready for me as soon as we get back to San Antonio, or I might have to, you know, spend the night in a hotel. I don't know. I guess I might find it out tomorrow. But yeah, this is gonna be a short segment. That's where I'm at right now, and as always, I will see you later. Hey, what's up everyone? I am coming at you from somewhere in Arkansas. I can't disclose this specific location because it's one of Joel's secret spots. But the cool thing about the secret spots, I bought the same GPS he has. It's the Garmin Desi 1010, and I just copied his entire like everything on his GPS is now on mine, so I have all of his secret spots, so I'm really thankful for that. So when I'm doing my route planning, you know, if I don't need a truck stop, I can come to the secret spots that not all drivers know about. and as you can see, it's about 3:30 p.m. and he calls this place Moon City because of all the craters. It's not a. There's some flat spots like over there and where we're at a little bit, but yeah, plenty of parking. And that parking over there that has the barrels and the concrete in front of it, that's paid parking. A lot of your TAs and like road rangers and pilots, they have paid parking and they charge like 20 bucks. This place charges 10 bucks. I said it's not a normal truck stop. We actually went in and had dinner. It's a little, you know, mom and pop restaurant. I had cheese sticks and a Philly steak, and it was good. And it was like, I think 18 bucks. So yeah, good deal there. So I'm definitely gonna keep this place in mind when I'm out on my own. So a little update, Joe called the lady that does all this scheduling. The plan is we're making this drop Monday morning, and then we're beeline right to San Antonio. I fly out from San Antonio at 19:30. I get back to Tulsa about midnight-ish, and then I have to go to the terminal first thing Tuesday morning at 8 o'clock. I need to take the test, which I'm pretty confident I'll pass, no problem. And then I get the keys to my truck. I will spend Wednesday, you know, driving around to Walmart and Lowe's because I have to get, you know, a few things that aren't issued to me to make my job easier. And then I will be ready for my first load Thursday morning. And then it's just me. And I can't wait. I'm still, Joel is my mentor, and I've heard him talk to probably 3 or 4 different students over the last 3 weeks. You know, they'll have questions and they'll call him. And I think the person he talked to today, they didn't even have Safety's phone number. Joel gave him the phone number after he explained, I think he had to secure some coils and he wasn't sure exactly what to do. So Joel walked him through it because he's an awesome mentor, awesome trainer, awesome all around. But yeah, that's where we're at right now. I'm probably gonna do one more segment after this, and that segment is going to cover the upgrade process. So I will have this video done probably by either the end of Tuesday or Wednesday, and I already have my edit ready to go. So all I'll do is just drop that video in my timeline, render it, and it'll be posted. And then from here on out, like I said, I have a bunch of different topics I'm gonna cover. I'm gonna be setting up the GoPro. I'm actually thinking about buying 2 more GoPros. Joel made a good point. When I'm doing like really difficult backs, like some of the videos I've seen, I'm thinking about putting, let me show you, right where the suspension line for the airlines connects, that crossbar right there. I'm probably gonna mount a camera there, and if I can, mount a camera on each of the side mirror mounting brackets. So that way, if it's a really difficult back, you know, you guys can see me and, you know, see my awesome backing skills. Hopefully. Let me get this mount out here. Here we go. So yeah, and in that way, with a couple GoPros, you know, when I'm doing like a really hard securement, I'll have one set off in a distance, and then I'll have one on my head, and I'll do like a split screen, so where one side will be the shot from a distance and the other side will be, you know, what I'm actually doing with my hands. My goal is to put out as much good information as I can, and to do that I need more GoPros. But yeah, that's where I'm at right now, and I will, like I said, have one more segment, and then my training series will be complete. So, like always, see you later. Hey y'all, so I tried recording this segment last night, and I discovered that GoPros aren't very friendly video at night unless you have a lot of light around. So yeah, having to redo this now that the sun is up in the morning. But this is gonna be the final segment of my road training videos. I mentioned a lot of it along the way, but I'm just gonna mention everything again. This is gonna be a total recap of everything we did during training, including the upgrade process. Okay, so the 5 loads that me and my trainer did, the first one was steel beams we picked up in Houston, Texas and delivered to Westland, Michigan. That was 1,283 miles. Load 2 was steel pipe for like an irrigation, or actually no, he said it was fire main. So there were a good, 3.5, 4 feet wide pipes. They were huge. We picked it up in Flint, Michigan and delivered that to Denver, Colorado. That was 1,186 miles. Load 3 was slinkies, which are like rolls of wire. We had to tarp that load. Slinkies are always tarped. We picked it up in Pueblo, Colorado and took that to Rome, Georgia. Load 4 was racking. That had to be tarped. We picked that up in Rome, Georgia and took that to Chicago, Illinois. And that was 1,228 miles. And the last load we did was another load of racking that we didn't have to tarp. We picked that up in Melrose Park, which is just outside Chicago, and delivered that to Houston, Texas. So we actually went full circle. We started in Houston, Texas, and the last load we delivered went to Houston, Texas. So my total miles, the first week, like I said in I think the first video of the first segment, we kind of got screwed because the receiver unloaded us really slow, so we couldn't make our next preload. That would have been another 1,200 miles because that was going back to Texas. So overall, I did 5,640 miles, and that's just miles that I drove. That's not counting the first day where Joel drove, and the last leg from Houston back to San Antonio that he drove while I was getting all my stuff ready. We also took that time, we went over a bunch of questions for the final written test when I got back to the terminal. I was fine there, and just any questions I had at the end of the training that I didn't ask during the training. So we dropped that last load off on a Monday, and we got back to San Antonio. I got off the truck and I went right to the airport. I flew from San Antonio to Houston, which was kind of funny considering if we probably could have dropped me off in Houston and saved the company a little bit of money with that connecting flight, but hey, it is what it is. And then from Houston, I flew to Tulsa. I got to Tulsa. The flight they got me had me landing at had me getting to the hotel at like midnight. Luckily, I got to the airport early enough to where I got an earlier flight. I ended up flying out at 4:15 versus 7:30 for that first flight. So I ended up getting back to the hotel. It was just after 8 o'clock. So I was able to get a little bit more sleep before going to the terminal in the morning. So Tuesday, we got to the terminal at about 8:30. We had to take the bus's second pickup, not for the initial orientation students, but it came back and then got us. We got to the building, like I said, at 8:30. We did a whole lot of sitting around.
The only thing I could think of why is because we had to turn in our logbooks, and you know, they go over the logbooks with a fine-tooth comb. Out of the 3 weeks, I only had one little red mark that they do, and that was the first day I didn't log the load check, tire check, and I should have, because we were driving for a while. But you know, that was my only mistake, and it was one mistake out of 20 days of logging, so I think I did pretty good on that one. After a while, they gave us the written test. I think we're supposed to get the written test as soon as we got there, but something got messed up. We ended up getting the written test soon before we were leaving, and I went through the written test. It was, I think, 30 or 40 Melton questions, and then the Smith's driving system multiple choice. The Melton questions were, you know, short answer, and then the Smith's driving test, if you've ever seen it before, it's just 50 questions that are multiple choice. But the last page of that test was the trainer evaluation from the trainee, and because we got the test pretty late in the morning, I couldn't write as much as I wanted to about Joel. But again, if you're watching up to this point, you've seen me give Joel a ton of accolades. I'm really glad I got him and that he's my mentor, and I actually got the same DM he has, so that's pretty awesome too. So yeah, around 12:30 on that Tuesday, we were getting some people got assigned trucks at Tulsa. There were 6 of us that had to be taken to the Birmingham, Alabama terminal. They didn't fly us. It was about a 9-hour drive from Tulsa to Birmingham. Our driver was really cool. I forget his name, but real laid back dude. We ended up getting to the hotel in Birmingham at just after 10 o'clock p.m. 2200. Wednesday, we got to the terminal at about 08:10. Went over the process after being assigned a truck. Now, this is one of those cases where volunteering actually paid off. Let me drink some of my coffee. So there were 6 of us, and Daniel, the terminal manager, he specifically said, all right, I have 6 trucks available. I have 5 Kentworths and 1 Freightliner. Who wants the Freightliner? I raised my hand because Joel's truck is a Freightliner. There's only one small difference between his truck and my truck. The dome and sleeper lights on my truck are together. On his truck, one was on the left and one was on the right. Other than that, exact same truck. Well, he's like, okay, cool, you're getting a Freightliner. And he said this after he gave us the option. I got the newest truck in the terminal, 2024 Freightliner Cascadia. Still had a new truck smell when I opened the door. Yeah, it had 3,400 miles on the odometer when I got in. So, and at the end of this video, I'll do a video like walk around, but I'm not going to show you the inside until I actually get my setup like on the inside. Right now, I mean, the truck's clean, but I don't have anything in it, but everything I brought in that bag. So once we got assigned a truck, we went out and did an inspection on the outside and an inventory of all the gear that was on the truck. It's a yellow paper. You go down, they have what they put on it, and then you have to verify that it's actually there. Joel gave me a list of extra stuff to get, and I only had to get a couple of things. Like, you're normally issued 12 chains and 12 binders. Joel said make sure you have 14, because if you get a really heavy coil and you use all 12 of your chains, you want those 2 extra so you can put a bulkhead before and after it if it's set up in the suicide orientation. Well, I had 14 chains, but only 13 binders, so I had to get 1 extra binder, and then I got the extra 4-inch ratchets and then extra 2-inch ratchets. and I got enough 2-inch straps. I had to think about that. But once we got all that done, we were assigned a trailer because we had to hook up to a trailer and then take it on a test drive to make sure everything on the truck is functioning okay. The trailer I was assigned wasn't actually in the yard. Daniel had to ping it, and somehow it was in like Mississippi. And I ended up talking to a driver later on that night. He was supposed to pick up a repower, and like the guy never showed up with the repower, but he didn't have the repower. He had a trailer that I was supposed to be taking out, if I remember that correctly. I don't know, I might be wrong, but anyway, my trailer wasn't in the yard. There were no normal flatbeds available that wasn't already assigned to someone, so I had to take my test drive in a step deck. Step decks, like already in a semi truck, you gotta take turns wide. With the split axle, you gotta take them even wider. With the step deck, you gotta go even wider. You're button hooking most of your left and right hand turns. But the route they had us on, it wasn't bad at all. It was all highway, at least 2-lane highway, and that lasted about 20 minutes. This is one big loop. When you get done your test drive, you have to go through the inspection bay. The inspection bay is where you get whatever you need that was on that yellow inspection paper. If you didn't have the proper quantity, you got it in the inspection bay. After that, we dropped the trailers and we were authorized to PC, and PC means personal conveyance. That's when you're using the truck for, you know, something personal. I went and had dinner at a Mexican place that Dana recommended, and it was pretty damn good. I had a big ass burrito and it was like 14 bucks. It was worth the money. But yeah, I went to Walmart, got a couple of cases of water. I got one of those pull-out drawer things for my closets. I can organize my clothes a little bit better. But yeah, I'll go over all that when I do the actual interior. Hey, this is the interior of my truck video. So that was Wednesday. There were 4 out of 6 of us that got done later in the day. Me, especially because of that trailer incident. I couldn't go on my test drive until almost all the guys were already back from theirs. So he cleared 2 out of 4 of us. I was one of the 4 that didn't get cleared. So Thursday, I met up with Daniel at 7 o'clock in the morning. I got my clearance to, well, I got cleared, and then I got assigned my driver manager, and then I was just waiting for my first load. I'm doing this video right now. I just dropped off that first load, but that load I didn't really have time to do anything because I picked it up in the afternoon and it had to be at the drop-off the very next day. I had to adjust my ETA twice because of, you know, traffic, my 10-hour break, which I didn't load plan correctly. I should have taken it earlier and I didn't. Lesson learned. But that's about it. That concludes my road training videos. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I should say here. It's really a roll of the dice what kind of trainer you get here at Melton. Mine was probably the best of the best. That's one of the things I wrote on the trainer evaluation. When I got back to the hotel, I talked to some of my classmates, and I'm not going to say horror stories because they went the full 3 weeks with the trainer, but let's just say that some people don't want to do it to actually train new people. Some people want to do it just for the money, and they do pay extraordinarily well if you're a trainer, but you got to sacrifice your space in the truck, and trust me, it's not a whole lot of space for 2 people. But yeah, that'll about conclude this video segment and part 2 of my road training. I'm probably gonna drive for a couple of weeks without recording any videos just to get myself more acclimated to doing this full time. And then after that, I'll start doing like securement videos, and actually I have a lot of other videos planned, like, you know, proper trip planning, you know, again, how I set my truck up, how I set up all my equipment. I already have enough ideas for roughly 14 or 15 videos, and then they'll just be content that I make up along the way. But thank you for watching. Thank you for all the new subscribers I've had. I really appreciate it, and we are on the way to getting that influencer program money. So again, thank you guys. I'm still gonna do that raffle thing I mentioned, you know, a while ago. So please like, comments. That's what I need. That's what populates the video up higher in the search engine. And then if you're just finding this video, then subscribe, please. It would help out a lot. But all right, that's all I have for now. And like always, see you later. Hey y'all, so I goofed. I already posted this training video, and then thanks to my buddy, my battle buddy Charles, he pointed out that I forgot to do a walk around with the truck. So I took that one down. It had 18 views. I'm sorry if you guys watched it, and I don't know if you want to rewatch it again. I need to, you know, make a list of everything on my phone I'm going to do a video of and make sure I cover everything in the first time. But here's the truck. I currently have a load right now. This is a repower load I picked up in Virginia, and I am right in front of a Home Depot where I'm be dropping off tomorrow morning. So I'm gonna be at that gate at 6 o'clock in the morning. Hopefully I'm the first one in. But yeah, so here's the truck. It's a little dirty from the last job site because it was all dusty. I still have to get to a truck wash and get it looking all pretty again. But you'll notice that my headache rack right here, this is where I put most of my gear, it does not look like Joel's truck. I need to talk to maintenance and see if they'll do the alterations or if they'll let me do them. I'm 100% capable of doing on my own. But yeah, I want to get my truck set up just like Joel's. The only difference is he had an extra storage box right here. I don't have the storage box. I'm wondering maybe if I can get like maybe a waterproof box, just move the fire extinguisher maybe to like this bracket right here, or somewhere where it's fully accessible if I ever need it. But so yeah, that's all the gear. In this main box right here, that is where all my chains, binders, and metal edge protectors are. Actually, my keys are inside. I have it locked right now since I'm not in a truck stop. Anytime I'm parked anywhere that's not a truck stop, like if I'm at a shipper and I'm not behind the locked gate, I come out here and I lock all my boxes. If I'm at a truck stop, not so much, because the truck stop have cameras everywhere, so if something happens, you know, we can find out who's trying to jack my stuff. But now, the truck, here we go. Let me back up a little bit. 2024 Freightliner Cascadia. Again, I apologize, it's a little bit dirty. Haven't been to a truck wash yet. Hopefully my next load is a good 1,000-mile load. I can build myself up some time to stop at a blue beacon and get all that done. All right, here's the front. Again, it doesn't have all the nice pretty decorations Joel has, but Joel earned that. He earned the truck. So this is the tarp box that has all 3 of my tarps in, which again, I'm gonna move mine up to where Joel has them, so I have extra storage down there, so I'm not cramming everything in the 2 side compartments, because see. That side's locked. Yep. I have, well, when I have all my straps, I have an equal amount of straps on either side. Gotta pull this little latch to open the door. But yeah, I have a bin like this on the other side that's set up the exact same. I'll have 11 straps over here, 11 straps on the other side back there. And there's my kingpin lock if I ever need to leave the trailer. This is what we use to repair the tarps. I still have to get some extra tarp material for that. I didn't get that at the terminal. And here's my inverter that makes sure I have power in 110 and extra cigarette lighters. So yeah, that's the truck. Again, I'm not going to show the inside until I actually get everything set up the way I want. And then I'll do, that won't be a super long video because, yeah, well, it's not a whole lot of room. But I'm going to get this segment on the training one and then get it re-uploaded, and then the training will be done. As always, see you later.